From New York, the Dick Cavett Show.
It's not easy living on your own.
With Mick Jagger in an exclusive film interview. The Rolling Stones in concert at Madison Square Garden. And Bobby Fischer in an interview recorded prior to the start of the World Chess Championship in Reykjavik, Iceland.
It's not easy. It's a pretty hard thing. It's not easy. It's not easy living on your own.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Cavett.
If the done
And that's because the whole show is a little different tonight. Thank you. I'm going to explain how. Last week, New York City finally got to see and hear the Rolling Stones. We were the last stop on a tour that I'm sure most of you have heard about, because it was reported all over the country. Took them into 30 cities in about 6 weeks, a grueling trip. It earned them, according to published estimates, between $3 and $4 million. And the tour was amazingly complicated, not only logistically in terms of moving them and the more than 100 people that travel with them and all the equipment from city to city, but their last tour of the United States had ended in a place called Altamont, California, where 4 people in the audience of a free and unscheduled concert died, one of them from stab wounds, and the argument goes on about how and what is to blame for that, or how that could have been prevented, I should say. Anyway, with that in mind, they came to the States again. Mick Jagger, the singer with the group, a fascinating man. He's been described variously as the supreme sexual object in modern Western culture. That's a quote. A compound of menace and energy is another one. A sadomasochistic freak is another one. And a musical genius and a pussycat, various other things. Last Tuesday afternoon, anyway, I went to Madison Square Garden to meet Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones and to talk to them and the people around them and find out who and what they are. And I don't know if I found out exactly, but tonight on the show you will be seeing the results of that visit. I had hoped to be able to talk to Mick Jagger more than I did. He had 2 concerts that day, and he was going to be there between them. But as you'll see, he was so beat from the first concert. He left the building right after the first concert. I did have time to ask him some things, and we have for you tonight then an impression, I think a fairly accurate one, of what goes on outside, inside, and backstage at Madison Square Garden when the Rolling Stones are in town. It will occupy the first hour of the show tonight, and it's fascinating. After that, you'll be seeing an interview which I did with Bobby Fischer, the chess genius. That was back in January. And at that time, he knew that he would be beating Boris Spassky, meeting him is a Freudian slip, for the World Championship sometime this summer. And he has a lot of interesting things to say about how to outwit an opponent. When the interview first ran, a lot of you probably didn't know who Bobby Fischer was. Now it seems everybody knows. And I don't think that he's changed that much in the last 6 months. My only regret is that Bobby Fischer and Mick Jagger are here together. It'd be interesting to find out what they have to say to each other. Fischer could tell Mick how it's best to work in silence, and Jagger could explain groupies to Fischer. It'd be fun to see his face when he does. Anyway, we'll be back after this message with the first piece of film from Madison Square Garden. Stay with us. There had been people milling around outside Madison Square Garden for weeks before the Rolling Stones actually arrived. The ticket was literally the hottest ticket in town. There were reports that distraught fans had forked out over $100 a seat to scalpers, and they all cost $6.50, but you could only get them by sending in a postcard. I tried to swap a couple tickets to No No Nanette, but I didn't get anywhere. And then I went into the garden to meet Jagger and the band. Before I did, though, I talked to some of the people waiting to get in, and here's that. What are you doing here?
Well, I've been a fan for a long time. I came to the 69 concert, and I had to come to this one.
You came to the 69 concert? Mm-hmm. Yeah. How do you get tickets for this?
I sent in 66 postcards.
Is that fair?
Sure. I'd do anything to get here.
Would you say you're fanatical about the Stones, or do you just like them a lot?
Well, I'm not really a fanatic about it, but this is what's going on in this city now. I mean, it's a summer vacation. You gotta live, and
yeah.
I'm not as freaky as some of the kids are, but I like to see the concert.
Yeah. Is it what's going to happen on stage that you want to see mostly, or is it what's inside in the audience too? You know what I mean?
Well, it's going to be a total experience, and I really don't want to miss it.
Yeah. What do you think about Jagger?
What do I think about Jagger? Well, He is, he's one of a kind, put it that way, yeah. There's no one like him.
If you met him, what would you want to know from him? If you could ask him anything.
I'd ask him what he was on.
I sent a card in, and they picked my name out, I guess.
Did you only send one card in?
No, I sent 6. And I got it on my girlfriend's name, Jan.
Were you thrilled when it came in the mail?
I got it Wednesday. I almost had a heart attack. She called me up. We gave up hope, and she called me up and said, they called me today, and they said you got a ticket. And I was like, oh, my God, I don't believe it.
If I were Mick Jagger, what would you want to know from me?
How much do you weigh?
What do I weigh? Yeah. Why do you want to know that?
I don't know. I always like to know how much people weigh.
You figure he weighs more after a concert than before?
No, less, because he works so much.
That's what I meant. I got it backwards.
Oh.
My eyes deceive me. Are you a postman?
What is it?
Are you a postman?
Yes, sir. And I like to see a lot of young people. It means that I like rock music at the same time, even though I'm past 30, but still I feel under 30. So you can all trust me.
Well, Jagger will be past 30 in a year or so, won't he?
It's all right, but I'm still going to like him even then, and I think he can go till 40.
Do you have a ticket?
No, I'm still working. I can go see the show, and I don't want to pay $75 for a scalper, no matter how much I like the rocks.
You have a slight accent? Where are you from?
I'm Israeli.
The thing I'd like to know from Mick is, like, now that he's much older, if he enjoys playing to the crowds that are so much younger than he was, like, years ago when he was playing to his own, like, peer group, like.
Do you think it's the same crowd that used to come, or is it a younger crowd while he's getting older?
Younger. It's definitely a younger crowd than it used to be.
It's younger, but it's the same crowd.
How old are you two?
Well, I'm 21.
You're 20.
Basically, most of the people, I think, are younger. They've been saying across the country. And I'm wondering how he feels about it. I just wonder how he feels. My mother wanted to. If he's still enjoying performing to a much younger crowd than to his own peers or whatever. If he thinks he's playing to people much below him, or, not that the people are below him, but just like his music quality.
I just wanted to make a comment about the difference between the crowd, let's say today, as opposed to 2 years ago. And that's it. Like a lot of people come to the concert now, and they know they're not going to get in, and they come to make trouble, and it sort of ruins, like, the nice thing, that about concerts that, used to be kind of atmosphere. And now, like, people are scalping tickets for 3 times the value of their worth, and I don't think it's a very nice thing. And I wish, I just like to ask people to stop doing it, and I'd also like, Mick Jagger to say the way that he feels about it, because I'm sure he doesn't condone behavior like that.
Maybe I'll get a chance to ask him later. Yeah. Are you coming to the concert?
No.
Why are you here then?
I don't know.
Why aren't you in school?
There's no school.
That's right. I want to see if you knew. Yeah. Oh, hi. Come in. Step in.
My children will die.
Wait. You have your children with you?
No, they're at home.
Where are you from?
Portchester, New York.
Are you a housewife?
Yes, mother.
And you're going to the concert?
Mm-hmm.
How did you get tickets, and how many?
Just bought one up the street.
Hold on to it very tight. Hold on to it, because people have been known to get them away from people. Did you know about that?
That's pretty
$25. But are you going, or are your children?
No, I am. They're going tomorrow night.
Do they know you're here?
Yes. I hope.
Is your husband a Stones fan?
No.
Just you?
And my children really turned me on to the music, and that's how I grew to love it, and that's how come I'm here. Oh, I feel foolish.
Well, you shouldn't feel foolish. Do you have a poster of Mick Jagger up in the kitchen or anything?
No.
Nothing like that. You just like the sound?
Yes, I just like them.
Do you know where you'll be sitting?
I hope in a good seat. They said it was.
Get my hands on that.
Put it back. It makes me nervous.
Oh.
Man's upset about being behind the stage here. No, I think he...
It says in little letters, it's hidden on the side of the ticket. Yeah, behind stage. I got those little letters. When you get home, you see it, then you flip out.
At least you're there.
At least you're there. Hear the music.
Would you want to meet Mick Jagger? I can't arrange it, but I mean, if you did, do you have any idea what you'd talk about?
I have a son that reminds me of him.
How old is the son?
He's 8 years old.
Starting young, man.
But Jagger is twice that old.
Just something about him reminds me of him. I have a few children, and he's just different from all the rest.
School twice that old.
Never mind.
And being so different, I don't know, he just does.
I'll be talking to Mick Jagger after this message. Stay with us.